2, and we've got a good one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports?
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now ETN to start the drive.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Well, this defense for the Texans, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard.
They'll run with ETN. And trying to shake free, but ETN cannot. The defense will stop him short.
No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Slot man moves right. On 1st down, they'll start out with Singletary. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The Texans at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Mills' throw taken in by Ridley here.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
1st down, Mills.
And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, for the offense offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Handoff right side to Pierce. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Houston.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now Lawrence.
He finds his man, complete. It's Brewer. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Room here to run. The 20. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead is up to 8.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
A give left side for Pierce.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
Throw left side complete. That's Woods. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Looking to throw is Mills. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jags are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Etienne.
And he stopped immediately there.
Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, Lawrence.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that one spanning and even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks.
And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked by Chad Muma. And the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now Lawrence to throw.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brewer. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Back to the ground with ETN.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down.
Lawrence will throw. Screen play. Here's ETN.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Taken from about the 12. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack. and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Another try after the first down sack. Mills. Under pressure, they got him again. Devon Hamilton in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by David Long. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And they'll run with Etienne. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne as the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Mills now. Open man downfield is Ridley. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. His throw caught right around the 6. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Let's go. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Final play of the half, Mills. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
To throw, Mills. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now Mills on 4th down.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
They'll get 19 yards there, and it's good enough for a Houston first down.
Mills again.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by David Long. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
60 evil. Dragon 60. 19 Tiger.
Handoff left side, Pierce.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
Mills to throw it.
And now here is another interception.
picked off by David Long. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
The margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Right side complete. That's Woods. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Here's Mills. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Tackled back at the 33-yard line. 19 Lions.
After the sack on first down, Mills on the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third and long for Mills. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he is going to lose yardage here. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Mills to the air again.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, here's Mills. This ball caught by Mechie. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they have a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
This time, the extra point up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this will be a Jaguars 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Now Lawrence.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because They're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To try again after the sack. Mills. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Trayvon Walker dropping him for the second straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. On play action, Mills. And he's going to go down again. Chad Muma. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Fourth down, Mills. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Now this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over first and goal. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. And they will take a knee here. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. Now, I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover after turnover.